Welcome to Legalized Negligence. Tonight we're not going to really talk about Statute 768.21 subsection 8. We're going to talk about some upcoming changes and some new things that have been going on. Yesterday we launched a website, legalizednegligence.com. And from that website, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up, Travis. And thanks for joining me tonight, Travis. It's been a while.
My pleasure.
Let me know when you can see that.
I can see it.
This is our new website, and I actually changed this for some reason on my screen. This isn't scrolling, but there's a little dedication down at the bottom of the splash page to all the victims of medical malpractice in the state of Florida. And across the top, of course, we got our logo. Across the top, you can get to a podcast, click on podcast, and it'll take you right to our YouTube channel. Let me move this thing. Can I slide this menu over, Travis?
Which menu?
The one at the top, the
No.
yeah, I can. There it goes. Yeah.
All right. I lied.
Yeah, let me close that. And then we've got a section here for articles. And what you'll find in this section, oh no, why is that taking a while? There it is. What you'll find here are some articles dealing there. You'll see I have the uh, task force studies in here and some things on medical malpractice that we've been using in our research. But I've got the 1988 task force studies and some law review articles about it. And then we often talk about various court cases. I've got the main 5 court cases here. Um, University of Miami versus Eckhart and Garber and McCall
Need
and
Loper Bright.
yeah, I've just started uploading these yesterday, so there's still more to come. But right now, this will give you an idea of what's there. And then, of course, if you go to the discussion group, it's going to take you to the Facebook page that everybody's used to the discussion group there. And then there is a blog, and I've started loading in some articles in the blog so people know the difference between economic damages and non-economic damages. Um, see, there's my trouble with that. And well, I've lost my screen. Is that it? There it is. Uh, well, it's here somewhere.
Well, there's the X,
Yeah,
formerly known as Twitter.
yeah. I guess this is. Yeah, I'll have to open up another window and get the website back up there. But this is also launched an X page, which used to be Twitter. So we're now on Twitter, and I got one follower who happens to be Travis.
One and only.
Yeah. So let me get back here and open up um, the website again so I can kind of walk through that real quick. So those are, and then of course an about page and then a contact page. And then if you scroll down, it's just very simple, very clean. It just tells you what the website is. Click learn more. And there's some a little bit of information there about, what legalized negligence is. And then at the bottom of that page, of course, is the same links to the various places. So that's what the website looks like. And I'm not going to be interacting very much in the Facebook group anymore. It has not produced the results that I wanted it to. And since I'm going to start, or have started since March, turning my attention more to the speaking with the individual legislators, um, the stuff that I put on the website is mostly going to be that now is geared towards them. I hope some advocates will follow us on both Twitter and through the website, and they can still post in the group. But right now, it just doesn't make any sense to me to put a lot of effort into the group when it's not used the way that I wanted it to be used. Some other things that I've done over the summer is I've been working on what I'm calling a white paper, and I've already sent out part one. There's three parts to it. I've already started sending out part one to various people in the legislature, and it basically covers the reason for the white paper and the history of subsection 8 starting back in 1970. And there is an article on the website. If you click on articles, there's an article there about what all was going on in the legislature during from 1970, 71, and 72 when they were creating a way for people to be able to sue for damages in medical malpractice claims. Um, some people believe that subsection 8 is the Wrongful Death Act, but this article will show you how. No, back, 20 years before subsection 8 came along, the legislature was creating a way for us to be able to sue a doctor uh, or a hospital for medical malpractice. And there's some good information on that there. And I don't want to take up a whole lot of time. I just kind of wanted to let people know I'm going to post this podcast in the group. And, the delegation meetings have already begun. On the 13th, they had one in Tampa. I think the next one comes up, if I remember right towards the end of or the beginning of October, if I recall. But I'm going to be posting those as they come out to let people know uh, where the delegation meetings are going to be. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, um, I'll post them there, and people can, uh, see where they are in their area and go speak. And I'm going to tell you, you'll find a lot of good talking points on the website with the articles that I'm posting, and in the blogs, you'll see the work that I've done over the last year and a half. Uh, where I've written stuff up for, there were several of them around Florida last year, in Tallahassee and Duval County, and two or three other places that I provided handouts for people. So, if you want to get involved, if you want to get in the game, if you want to try to change this law or have it repealed, uh, this is going to be a good resource for you to use.
Yeah. Make your
Uh,
presence known.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, you, I know this is going to sound cold and crass, but the legislators have heard enough of the stories. They've seen enough tears that they know the human toll that this has taken. And if you think that they just haven't seen people cry enough, you're wrong. Uh, it's going to take a different kind of approach. You've got to come up with something new than just telling your story. I've said that in several podcasts now. The story is not going to change their mind. They've had 35 years of people telling their stories, and they haven't changed their mind. So it's time to take a different approach. And I think you'll find that different approach in the information that I'm posting up on the website. There's one other thing that I'm a little hesitant to release it right now, because I'm still, it's a legal theory that I have, and I've been working it out for 3 or 4 weeks now, and I think I've got it nailed down pretty good. But I do want to run it past a local judge that I know and see if he thinks that it's a strong legal argument. But basically, it's looking at the problem from a different angle. And if this judge reads it and says, I think you're on to something here, then, I'm going to go ahead and try to get the ACLU and the Institute for Justice involved and see if they can bring a civil rights claim against the state. Because I think this is a strong argument, but I do want to get the opinion of some people in the legal field and see if they agree with me. Travis, is there anything else that you can think of? I mean, I know you've been busy with your civil rights case over the summer, and that's eaten up all of your time and more, you know.
Yeah,
So,
well, I can't really call it rightfully a civil rights case, just because they're not state actors. is what I'm told. Even though I see a lot of stuff where they act otherwise. But yeah, nothing I'll add here. I don't want to detract from the purpose, and that's revealing the website and X.
Well, I just didn't want people to think that you had gone away. I mean, I've done some podcasts over the summer, just a couple of them, two or three of them, and you were, glaringly absent, and I didn't want people to think that you had fallen off the face of the planet.
No, I have learned that the more defendants you have, the busier you are.
Yeah, so
So
I
yeah,
did want people to know that you're still part of the game here.
yeah,
Um, it's just you've been so tied up with this court case that you just haven't had time to work on anything else. I
yeah.
do want to share a very quick video
Oh yeah.
that I Travis sent me a Travis sent me a video today that was a couple of minutes long, and wondering if it was a guy that had spoken at a judiciary committee meeting last year. But I was looking at the channel that where he had sent this video. I went and looked at what other videos they had. And Travis, correct me if I'm wrong here. This channel is a YouTube channel run by a group called the Doctor Company, correct?
The doctor's company,
Yeah, the
correct.
Doctor's Company. And the Doctor's Company, a lot of y'all have heard us use the name Mark Delagal. Mark Delagal is a lawyer and a lobbyist who represents the Doctor's Company. They probably do a lot of things, but one of the things they do is they sell medical malpractice insurance to the doctors who belong to their group, plus, I'm sure, other doctors. And there was a fascinating video. It's only about 3.5 minutes long. And I want to play this so you guys can get a sense of what we're up against. Um, this is kind of astounding. So, are you still with me, Travis?
Yes, I am.
Okay, there you are. All right, let me cue this video up. Can you hear that?
I hear music, yes.
Okay.
Well, malpractice insurance won't change. We'll still be issuing policies. We'll still be defending our members. We'll still be settling cases. But when we defend our members, we have to hem in the plaintiff's ability to use the theories and the strategies involved in the reptile theory through motion practice pre-trial, so that if we have a trial judge that's amenable to hemming them in terms of how far they can go with arguing and perfecting this theory, we have to do a better job of that. One of the other things that happens is defense lawyers are very, very reluctant to want to talk about what happens if you don't buy my argument that you should find my client not guilty of malpractice and decide to award something to the plaintiff for their injury or loss. And so they don't like suggesting a figure. Well, that's helped create the atmosphere where these juries award big damages, because these cases are outside the everyday life experience of jurors. And by not defending damages from opening argument all the way through to closing argument, heck, arguing damages in jury selection, okay, when you're actually picking the jury to get their mindset that they can find for the plaintiff, make them whole, but not enrich the next 5 generations of their family in the process of doing that. It doesn't take a winning billion-dollar lotto ticket in order to make someone whole. But from our perspective as an insurer, while we've seen tort reform eroded across the country, these verdicts are creating the argument that non-economic damages caps were designed to deal with. These verdicts are headed towards a direction that will put us as a society at a point where we have to consider what's more important, the rights of this injured party or the rights of 340 million Americans to be able to access medical care.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes.
That is the argument that Florida has been using since 1988, and now they're trying to spread that argument across the country. So when I tell people, hey, just because it ain't in your state, you better watch out because it's going to be in your state. He mentioned a book a minute ago called Reptile. Look this book up. I found it on Amazon for $1,880.
Hmm.
That's how important this book was to plaintiff attorneys back in the early part of the century. I found a PDF of it and I printed the PDF and had it bound, but he's going to talk more about this book here in a minute. It's a strategy that plaintiffs' attorneys use to get juries to find in their favor.
Because if this is left unchecked, I don't know whether it's 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, it's going to affect access to healthcare in this country if we don't do something about it. There are a lot of insurance companies that think they're just scorekeepers. They add up the losses, they tack on what it costs to run the company, and they send out the premium notices. We've never been that kind of insurer and never will be. We are going to continue to fight in every state legislature across the country to demand that they enact laws that guarantee our members have the ability to defend their professional reputations in court. And when they lose the case, we're not putting everything they worked a lifetime to accumulate on the line by defending that professional reputation. So we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to fight for you, not just in the courtroom, but every legislature in this country.
Now, keep in mind, he works for the insurance companies that gives doctors their malpractice premiums. So if the doctor loses, his company gets hurt. He just told you how hard they're going to fight to protect the reputation of doctors. That's what we're up against.
And nothing about improving healthcare.
Not a word about the malpractice itself. Not one word about are they guilty. All it is we are not going to let a bunch of greedy victims of malpractice ruin the reputation of this doctor that was negligent.
Yeah.
That's what you're up against. So if that doesn't fire you up to get involved, I don't know what will. Sorry for all that technical delay there. It's just there's so many things to click on. It's like you need to have somebody doing that off to the side so I don't have to do that. But I'm operating on a shoestring budget. So what can I say? You know.
Yeah, it just seems like with every policy, they should get like 50 hours of training or something with their policy.
Well, it just like you and I have been saying for a year and a half, it seems to me like the insurance companies would be vested in getting rid of the negligent doctors. The more negligent doctors they can get rid of, the more money their company is going to make because there won't be any payouts. And why they refuse to get on board with that idea is just, I don't have an answer for it. I just don't know. But anyway, so like we always say, like and subscribe and share this with your friends. Now, when you go to legalizednegligence.com, you'll be brought to our website, and there's a lot of good information there that I'm going to continue to upload. I've got tons of it, but I only uploaded some yesterday and today to, so people have something to look at, but there's a lot more to come. And, I just like I ask in every podcast, get involved, you got to get involved. So any closing thoughts, Travis?
No, just be active, think about what you can do and spread the word,
Yeah, I even put on, if you go to the contact us page on the website, I've got a little note there. If you got anything you can offer to us, a skill, some knowledge, so anything, write to me. There's a little box here where you can send me an email and tell me, look, I can do this, I can do that. We're not asking for money. We're just asking for people to get involved. You know, we're all in the same boat, man. We all lost a loved one, and we need to start gathering our forces, because you can see from what that attorney just said, they're gathering theirs,
Yep.
and they're going to fight to the end. And that is our opponent right there.
And the legislature listens to business more than the people, it seems. So
Well, I mean, it's very clear that, these lobbyists go in there and they give them some money, and before the session starts, they're not allowed to give them money while they're in session. But if they pass the laws that they want passed, if the legislature passes the laws that the lobbyists want passed, then there's a check that comes at the end of it. We don't have that kind of money. We're fighting for justice, and we don't have money to throw behind that. All we have is the protections that are provided in the state constitution and the U.S. Constitution.
yeah,
You know,
I would love to see a Florida amendment where a corporate entity cannot donate to a politician.
well, like you've heard me say a million times, man, my entire life I've heard about campaign finance reform, and it hasn't happened in 66 years. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
it's
that's going through the legislature. My desire would be just to make an amendment and have the people vote on it and bypass the legislature.
well, we saw what happened with Amendment 10 back in 1988. You know, the task force recommended against capping damages in malpractice claims, and what did the legislature do 2 years later? They capped it at 100%,
Yeah.
because you can't collect anything. So that they don't even listen to the recommendations of the task force that they create. All right. Well, Travis, thank you for your time, and I hope we can start getting some people involved in this, and because it's all cranking up now from now till January, and then they go into session the beginning of the year, and we'll see what happens, man.
All right.
Uh, you have a good evening, Travis.
Thank you too.
All right, bye.